Northfield will kick it off. Opening kickoff brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Things happen in life. Make sure you're prepared with the right insurance coverage. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance in Brush and Fort Morgan. The head coach of the Mustangs is Ty Davies. Ahmad Lowe, the head coach of the Northfield Nighthawks. And to kick it off is Mike Mecklenburg. And back deep to receiver Jacob Ortega. And J.P. Hamer standing at the 7-yard line. Last week, Hamer went 82 yards for a touchdown to open up the second half, the second straight year that he's done that. And this will be a line drive. It'll be caught by one of the upmen. That's Frankie Ortega at the 23, running across the field to his left, across the 25 to the 30, and then he spun around down at the 34. Penalty marker goes flying in. That's going to be against Fort Morgan for a hold, so that's going to set them back probably at around their own 20.
Yeah, not something you want to see to start off the game is a penalty. That they've been doing pretty good the last couple of weeks as far as penalties, but started off here on the kickoff with a penalty.
He fielded that way on the close side, and they obviously had a left return because he worked it all the way to the left-hand side. And sometimes when you have, that switch of fields, that's when those holding calls come in.
The Mustangs have not had too many sustained drives this year. They've been a big play team. Last week, a little bit more success on sustained drives. Actually, I think their biggest drive in terms of going down the field was like a 12-play, 69-yarder against Thomas Jefferson.
Yep.
First and 10 for the Mustangs, just shy of the 21-yard line. Isaac Linker, the quarterback, out of the pistol. The receiver to the right, one of the two receivers to the right is Ortega. Cardona on the inside slot. Fajardo out to the left. Linker awaiting the snap from their own 21. Will hand it off to Hamer, running off left tackle. Big hole across the 30. He's got a first down to about the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 11 for J.P. Hamer, and he shot out of there very quickly.
Yeah, found some opening on that left side there. Got a nice blocks out there springing.
Hamer's had a big season. 8 touchdowns, 6 on the ground, 1 receiving, and 1 special team score. First and 10 for Fort Morgan at their own 32-yard line. Same formation for the Mustangs. Linker awaits the snap, and that's going to be encroachment. Trying to beat the snap there was man in the middle there for Thomas. Check that for Northfield. And it looked like John Medina came across quickly, so it'll be first down and 5 for Fort Morgan at the 37-yard line.
Northfield running a 5-2 monster defense. That's basically a 5-2 with the strong safety stepping up on the strong side and giving you that third linebacker.
First and 10 from the 37. Awaiting the snap. Linker to throw. The slant is going to be incomplete off the hands of Dylan Woods at the 49-yard line. That looked like it was well thrown. He just didn't pull it in.
Yeah, that should have been caught. That was right off his hands, and he was right down the seam. He might have been gone if he had pulled that in.
Oh, I think he would have been gone. I don't think there's any question about it. There was nobody in front of him. Second down and 10. The Mustangs more than likely, we've seen this many times. Second and 5, excuse me. We'll go to the run here. Linker will be handing it off to Hamer. He stutter steps back to the middle, and he lunges to the 41. He was hit at the 39, but kept going. It's a gain of 4. Third down and 1 to go for Fort Morgan, right up to the line of scrimmage. It's not a hurry-up offense. It's a no-huddle offense for the Mustangs, as they've been implementing all season. Let's see if they go with Hamer again. Linker on 3rd and 1. He'll keep it himself, run to his left. He's got a first down, and he carries defenders across the 45 to the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 5 for Isaac Linker, as Brian mentioned, the second leading rusher on the Mustangs this season.
Sometimes it doesn't seem like he gets much, but over the course of the game, he ends up with 20, 25 yards every time.
And he doesn't go down on first contact. That's where his strength is.
Yeah, he's a big, strong quarterback. First and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 46-yard line. Linker again awaits the snap. He spins to his right. He's got protection, throws deep up the right side. Ortega's out there, incomplete. He threw his hands at the 19-yard line. Might have been a little bit over that outside shoulder, which made it more difficult for him to haul it in. Second down and 10 for Fort Morgan. Pretty well thrown ball there by Isaac Linker on the run.
Yeah, that time they did roll him out to his right, and it looked like he had it right there to him, but Jacob just didn't get the hands together to catch the ball.
Second down and 10 yards to go, 10:15 to go in the opening quarter. Fort Morgan on the opening possession here from All City Stadium in Denver. Out of the pistol. Here's the give to check that to Hamer. Off left tackle, drives across the 50 to the 49. Linker to Hamer. It's a gain of 5. And Hamer now with 3 carries for 20 yards. I mean, we do expect him to go over 100 today, at least over 100. Third down and 5 yards to go for the Mustangs at the 49-yard line of Northfield. Receivers split each side. Villalobos on that inside slot to the right. On 3rd and 5, Linker keeps it himself, runs to his right, back to the middle, first down, still on his feet. He's into the secondary across the 40 to the 37 as he ran to his left after starting off to his right. It's a gain of 12 for Isaac Linker and a Mustang first down. Nice ball fake there by the senior quarterback.
Yeah, that play action or whatever where he keeps it is working a lot better today than it has in the past. He's really getting a lot more yards.
From the 37-yard line, the Mustangs now on their 8th play of the drive. Started at their own 21. They're at the Northfield 37. Shoot up nearly 3 minutes of game time. Again, awaiting the snap is Linker. Man in motion to the right is Ortega. He's got the pitch, looking for a seam to the outside to the 35, towards the sideline at the 30. He's got a first down tackle for behind at about the 23. Let's see where it is marked. If it's the 23, it would be a gain of about 14. And they'll give him the 22, 15 yards for Ortega. And a Fort Morgan first down, 2 yards shy of the red zone.
That's an example of where they're putting those 8 guys in the box to stop that inside run. That opens up that outside.
Again, looking over towards the sideline for play instructions. The receiver to the outside on the right now is Fajardo. From the 22, Linker, play action. Over the middle, the pass is going to be caught at the 5 towards the end zone. Touchdown, Adam Cardona, 22 yards away, and a bullet thrown by Isaac Linker. And the Mustangs have the lead, 6-0 here in Denver.
Good to see Adam Cardona getting a touchdown. He's has a couple nice catches on the year, but that time he actually got in the end zone.
And that throw was out of the pocket.
Yeah.
That's what you want to see, but you need the protection. And here's the extra point to be attempted. Are they going to go for 2? They've got that swinging gate right now. Yeah, it's the swinging gate. So you've only got a center, and now Villalobos in motion to the right. They'll go for 2. Linker stutter stepping back towards the middle. He dives. I think he's short. I don't think he got it there. The officials are converging, but he's short. 8:31 to go in the opening quarter. Fort Morgan 6 and Northfield nothing. It's a 30-second break on B106 and B106.com. 79-yard drive for the Mustangs there. And they ran about 9 plays there, Brian, and they get on the board.
Yeah, it looked good. That was a nice pass, 22-yard pass to Cardona. Then he drug a couple of defenders there, about 3 or 4 yards.
And now, let's see who kicks it off there for the Mustangs.
I think it's Cardona.
Yep, it is.
Jose Jimenez not here today, apparently.
And this is a line drive headed towards the sideline. It'll bounce at the 10. It goes out of bounds at the 2. That's too bad. That was placed pretty nicely there.
Yeah, I thought maybe he was going to catch the end zone, but took that right turn and went out of bounds.
Gives Northfield decent starting field position out of the 35.
Now let's see if the Mustangs could do what they've been doing the majority of the season, which is forcing turnovers as well. 1st and 10 for Northfield. Their quarterback is Elijah Miranda. They got 1 setback. We'll get his name in just a second. From the 35, Miranda, play action, rolls out to his right, throws to the run. The pass is caught underneath. The flag is down to the 43-yard line. It was caught by the tight end, Gage Worry.
holding on Northfield.
Yep, and that was a quick hold, too.
And it's deep in their backfield, so that's going to be about a 17-yard penalty.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the pressure was coming from this right side a little bit. Some of the defensive linemen I saw got fooled. They thought that he had actually handed off, but did not.
A little bit of a size difference as their number 1, Andre Thomas, looks to be about 6'3", and he's going out there against Donovan Moya.
They'll place it at about the 17. So it'll be first down and about 28. You're right, Kevin. That was way back there. First and 28 at the 17-yard line. Under center, Miranda looking to throw out to his left, and it's incomplete. I'm not sure. There's a miscommunication there. His tight end was out there worried, but his receiver was running inside. And I think it was Hamer, another Mustang, got a hand on it.
It was Hokenottle, I think, was out there in the coverage of the tight end, more fighting him than covering him. But I guess that close to the line of scrimmage, it's not pass interference or holding yet.
Second down and 28 to go for the 17. The Mustangs up 6-0 on a 22-yard pass from Isaac Linker to Adam Cardona. 2 receivers out to the right. They've yet to run the ball in the first 2 plays, although one was called back as a penalty. Run right up the gut, a gain of about a yard. Let's see, that looks like it's Earl Watkins. And the gain is a yard. DePriest and Hokenotto around the football. Third down and 27 to go. And here's where you smell the turnover if you like to go downfield.
Yep.
Unless they run something conservative like a draw or maybe a screen. On third and 27 for the 18. Receiver split each side. Watkins alone setback. Miranda's back to throw. He's got protection. Throws out to his right. The pass is caught. A one-handed catch at the 25, and then down at the 26 is going to be Thomas. Andre Thomas is a gain of 8. But it'll be 4th down and long. 4th and about 19 to be specific.
Yeah, they gave him a little bit of a cushion out there just so he wouldn't get by him, and then closed in once he got the reception.
Moya made the hit now. That might be Silva to punt there. Yeah, Ortega is back at the 38-yard line. Awaiting the snap. Gets there very slowly. Pressure coming. It's blocked. The ball is loose at about the 15-yard line. Picked up by the Mustangs. And now to about the 13-yard line for Fort Morgan. After that blocked is, let's see who picked that up.
That's
John?
Alex Atwood, maybe 41
or 40. Is it 41? 41.
I thought I saw. Yeah, that would be Alex Atwood.
Yep.
Atwood was able to pick it up and advance a couple of yards, but Fort Morgan now has it first down and 10 at the 13-yard line. Took a long time for that ball to get to the punter. And Fort Morgan, I mean, they had a nice rush. I don't know if it was anything extraordinary. It's just that if you don't snap it quickly, you allow those defenders to get right up there.
That's probably something that's, comes in developing a long snapper. You just don't have long snappers hanging around waiting to play football, so it's something they have to develop, and still looks like they're doing that.
6:46 to go in the opening quarter, and now do we have a delay of game?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you can't do that. Not off a change of possession. They got to have a plan B, you would think, for that. If you can't run the play off a change of possession, just improvise.
It looked like there was a little miscommunication from the sideline, and they weren't lined up in the right formation, and Isaac was a little bit confused.
Well, you don't need to call a timeout necessarily, as they can make up this yardage, but it's 1st and 15 from the Northfield 18-yard line. The lone setback is Hamer. Linker is going to head off to Hamer, running it back towards the middle, and he's going to be swallowed up. Well, he took on a couple of Northfield Nighthawks, but he was hit over there primarily by Deontay Pittman, a defensive back. And that's no gain. Yep. 2nd down and 15 for the 18-yard line. Linker's 1 out of 3 through the air, but as a touchdown pass, Cardona and Ortega, the receivers, to the left, Fajardo to the right. Out of the pistol formation. Linker is back to throw. He's got protection. Goes over the middle, wide open, touchdown! Wide open to Jacob Ortega from 18 yards away. Nobody was near him, and the Mustangs have doubled the lead over the Northfield Nighthawks. It's 12-0.
Yeah, nice job once again out of the pocket. And Ortega came from that left side.
Yeah, I mean, it was
wide open, as you said.
Adam Cardona to attempt the extra point. Off the hold of Isaac Linker. Awaits a snap. That kick is up. And that kick is right in between the uprights. 6:05 to go. We are in the first quarter. Fort Morgan 13, Northfield nothing. This is B106 and B106.com. Jacob Ortega with his 6th receiving touchdown of the year. 13-0. It came from 18 yards away from Isaac Linker, his 2nd touchdown pass of the game. And this will be a low-line drive. It'll bounce at the 18, picked up by Thomas at the 12. He's got a seam across the left side, and what a shoestring tackle at about the 35. Let me tell you, if that tackle's not made by Munoz, he might have gone a long way there.
Yeah, he looks like that number 1. What's his name? Thomas got some. Some speed on him.
He's got kind of that loping style of running where he doesn't appear to be that fast, but yeah, he turns it on. Kind of reminds me of Marcus Allen a little bit.
1st and 10 from the 37. The return went for about 25 yards. Under center is Miranda. Looking to throw. 3-step drop. Heaves it deep up the right side. Thomas is out there, and he goes up. He makes the catch, and he is loose to the 15, to the 10. Hamer tackles him at the 7. 56 yards on that connection. 1st and goal for Northfield. He just went up there almost like grabbing a rebound and was able to take it away.
Yeah, he was. It looked like pretty decent coverage out there, but he just went up and got it. Then kind of stiff-armed this defender off of there, and then got brought down at the 7.
At the 7, yeah, it's a 56-yarder. All right, Thomas already 2 catches now for 64 yards. On 1st and goal from the 7. Let's see if the Mustangs can stiffen up defensively. Rolling to his left, pressure coming, and a sack! Thrown down as Miranda at the 19-yard line. Cale Langford was able to shoot through and thrown for a 12-yard loss. The sophomore makes a big play, very similar to what he did against Lutheran when he had those sacks in the opening quarter 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, we sure have a lot of sophomores playing and doing well. At least that makes me think the next couple of years are going to be fun to watch.
Every Mustang was picked up there except Langford, and he was not going to miss that tackle. 2nd and goal for the 19-yard line. Let's see if this is a passing situation. Miranda will hand it off to Watkins, running towards the right sideline to the 15-yard line. Then he's cut down right there for a gain of 4. And 3rd down and goal. The Mustang hit was made by Donovan Moya. Watkins now with 2 carries for 5 yards. And more than likely when you're a young school, unless they have some sort of field goal kicker, you're going to go for it here on 4th down if you don't pick it up. But now you're almost in a situation, you got to double team Thomas.
Yep.
He's so tall and lanky, and as Kevin mentioned, he's got that lopey style. When he runs, he's very deceiving. 3rd and goal for the 15. Again under center. Watkins alone setback. Back to throw Miranda looking for a fake. Throws it to his right. Caught underneath at the 10-yard line and down to the 5 as he stumbles down there. That might be the secondary receiver. And it is over there for Northfield. That's Richard Swanson. A gain of 10. 4th down and goal for the 5.
They're sending in the field goal team.
Let's see what they have here. Yeah, they had Thomas lined up on the left out there, but it looked like he was double teamed. They had Hamer, and I'm not sure who else was out there, but had him kind of double covered on this left side.
I wouldn't assume a field goal at all. Mike Mecklenburg to attempt a 22-yard field goal. And the snap is down, the kick is up, and that one is Inside the left upright, it's good. Mecklenburg with a 22-yard field goal. 3:11 to go in the first quarter. Fort Morgan 13, Northfield 3 on B106 and B106.com. Well, this Northfield team did to Fort Morgan what they couldn't do to Thomas Jefferson. They got on the board. A 22-yard field goal. But I think one of you used before the game, this is a bend but don't break defense, and that's what they did right there. 22-yard field goal makes it 13-3 with 3:11 to go in the opening quarter. And this kickoff is high and deep and caught by Hamer at the 2 as he backs up to the 1, running to his left at the 20-yard line, and then he's going to be brought down at the 26, maybe the 27. And that's where the Mustangs will take over after Northfield got on the board on the 22-yard field goal from Mecklenburg.
I think that last drive was definitely a defensive victory for Fort Morgan. They had first and goal at the 5, and we held them to a field goal.
Now it's 1st and 10 for the Mustangs, just shy of the 27-yard line. Ernie Sandoval is on that inside slot to the right. Cardona, the receiver, to the right. Fajardo to the left. 2 in the backfield this time. They're split, Hamer and Ortega. Ortega with the football. He's got a seam to the outside across the 30. Then he's driven out of bounds at the 31, maybe the 32. 5 yards. That was a gang tackle there, led by Pittman. Earl Watkins around the football as well. 2nd and 5 for Fort Morgan.
Yeah, nice job on that right side there. By the Mustang offensive line, they walled it off there a little bit, but Northfield came in with some.
The pass to Cardona to open the scoring for Fort Morgan, brought to you by Cargill Meat Solutions, working with the community to make sure there are jobs for the members of the communities they're in. That's Cargill Meat Solutions. 2nd down and 5 for the Mustangs at their own 32, 2:57 to go first quarter. Ortega's in motion to the left, now resets. And Linker to throw, pressure coming towards the right side, incomplete through the hands of Cardona at the 40-yard line. 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, somebody picked up that guy rushing in there. I didn't see who that was. Got that lineman off of Linker, but that's a pass that Cardona needs to bring in.
I think we saw this line from Linker in an earlier game where all of his completions were touchdowns. 2 out of 5 for 40 yards, a 22-yarder to Cardona, 18 yards to Ortega. 3rd down and 5 from the 32, from the pistol. The backs are split. Ortega in motion. He gets the pitch left, gets a block from Hamer. Beautiful block. 1st down to the 40, and then he slams into a defender at the 45. They'll give him the 46. Jacob Ortega is good for 14 yards. I don't know if you saw that block that Hamer threw, but that was menacing.
Yeah. He just,
Yeah, there's some hitting going on by the Mustangs today, that's for sure.
I think that you mentioned a couple of times, Brian's what the defender felt. Yeah. 1st down and 10 at the 46-yard line. 2.5 minutes to go in the first. Linker from the pistol, option right. He will keep the football, and he breaks a tackle at the 48. A flag is down. He's still on his feet. Down at the 36. It would be a gain of about 16, 17 yards, but that one looks like it's coming back.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened. It was a hold on this outside. Yep.
It is against Morgan. It was thrown downfield, so Linker will pick up some yardage.
We have a Nighthawk down on the field, 44.
Yeah. All right, they'll walk this back. So essentially, he gains 8 yards in the play because it's only a 1st down and 12, I should say. So Linker now with 3 carries for 25 yards, but a 1st and 12 at their own 44-yard line.
Yeah, not a devastating penalty as far as yardage, but it took away a nice run by Linker.
Linker with 8 touchdown passes on the season after the 2 he's thrown here in the opening quarter, with only 1 interception. So he's had a very good season passing from that standpoint. Got to up the percentage a little bit. On 1st and 12 from the 44. Isaac spins to his left. Pressure coming backside. Sets. Throws deep. Wide open. It's caught by Fajardo at the 27. By himself at the 15 to the 10 to the 5. Touchdown. 56 yards, and Fajardo was unguarded, wide open up the left sideline, and the Mustangs have scored for the third time here in the opening quarter. 3 touchdown passes from Linker.
Yeah, he was wide open. He must have been set up out wide on that left side out there, and they just lost him in the confusion out there, apparently.
I got to tell you, either one of you guys would have scored on that one.
Yeah, that would be wide open.
Yeah. Well, no, but you wouldn't have been that open. Come on. No. Simmer down, John. Don't get out of hand.
Unless I snuck off the sidelines or something.
The extra point by Cardona is off to the right. We have 1 minute, 50 seconds to go. First quarter, Fort Morgan 19, Northfield 3 on B106 and B106.com. A third touchdown here in the opening quarter for Fort Morgan. A 56-yard pass from Linker to Connor Fajardo, and he was wide open. I mean, he could have walked into the end zone. Cardona's going to kick it way out of bounds. Oh, my gosh. I mean, I know he wanted to kick it towards the sideline, but that one went out of bounds at about the 24.
Yep.
And it was still flying as it was about to land. But they want to keep it away from Andre Thomas, who had that big return.
Yeah, keep it out of his hands. I'd rather start at the 35 than have him run it back or farther downfield.
If I'm Northfield, I'm pretty much just going to throw to Andre Thomas and let him go up and catch him.
First and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Elijah Miranda, the quarterback. 3-step drop, throws to his left. It's caught underneath at the 35 and then knocked out of bounds as Moya made the tackle. For Northfield was Davion Hinton. The gain is 6.
Almost like a pick play there, but they didn't call anything.
Right? No, it was a pick. That's it. It's Miranda so far. He's 4 out of 5. He's completed 4 in a row for 80 yards. Second down and 4 from the 41. The lone setback is Watkins. Under center, Miranda turns, hands it off to Watkins, and he's going to be hitting the backfield. Thrown for at least a 2 or 3 yard loss.
It looked like they were going for the ball, but
I don't know if that's DePriest at the bottom of that pile. Nope. Oh, that tackle was made over there by Celestino. Isaiah Celestino made the first hit. It's a loss of 3.
Yeah, nice defensive press there. They won that line of scrimmage. They pushed them back 3 yards in the backfield.
Well, that was Hurd instead. Check that Hurd on the carry. No correction there, but Hurd lost 3 yards. Isaiah Hurd. Now it's third down and 7 to go. For Northfield, trips to the right. One setback is Hurd. Back to throw towards the sideline. Incomplete. Miscommunication there at the 47. As the intended receiver, Swanson, was running more of a hook or a slant. And it was thrown way behind him, and Northfield's got a punt.
Yeah, the quarterback thought he was going to turn out, and he turned in and comes up incomplete.
Mecklenburg, who made the 22-yard field goal, out there to punt for Northfield, standing at his own 22. We've got 50.4 seconds to go in a long first quarter, but the Mustangs do have a 16-point lead.
Mustangs blocked the last punt that Miranda tried, or Mecklenburg tried.
Well, they've got to get it to him quickly. And if not, what Mecklenburg's got to do is run out of that formation there and do one of those running punts. And again, it takes a while to get to him. Heavy rush, he gets it all, but it's a quick punt and a very short one.
Oh.
And it's caught out of bounds at the 49 by either an assistant or somebody in the Northfield staff over there. A very, very short punt. They'll mark it at the 50, a 13-yard punt. So Fort Morgan still with a shot to score before the end of the opening quarter.
Yeah, great field position. Yeah, Northfield's got a little work to do with their punting game.
I wonder what the record for touchdown passes is for Fort Morgan in a quarter. Because Linker has 3.
I would bet if he gets a 4th one, that would be the record.
Oh, but Caden Edson isn't at quarterback.
Huh.
Edson from the pistol. Awaits a snap, hands it off to Hamer, running off left tackle, now swinging it towards the sideline of the 40. Speed to Burns at the 30, at the 20. Hamer still on his feet, now is out of bounds, poked out of bounds. At the 16. It's a gain of 34 for J.P. Hamer, and a Mustang first down. That was Hamer's 5th carry of the opening quarter.
And they got outside again. Timeout. Northfield.
Yep. Northfield calls it. We'll keep it right here. We'll recap the scoring here momentarily as Adam Cardona with a 22-yard touchdown catch. 6-0 after the Mustangs missed a 2-point conversion. And Jacob Ortega wide open on an 18-yard reception for a touchdown. His 6th receiving touchdown of the year, 7th overall. PAT was good, making it 13-0. Northfield then got a 22-yard field goal from Mike Mecklenburg. But then Fort Morgan came right back. Connor Fajardo. I believe that was his first touchdown of the year.
Right.
56 yards from Linker. And he basically caught it like an outfielder at the 27-yard line, just taking it in, and then took it in the rest of the way.
Unmolested.
Yeah.
There's no one near.
Unguarded.
Wide open.
But the Mustangs missed the extra point there, but they have it first down and 10 at the 16-yard line with 35.3 seconds to go in the first quarter from All City Stadium in Denver. John Beltran with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde. Hamer the lone setback. Villalobos on the inside slot to the right. Fajardo, the receiver, to the left. Edson still in there at quarterback. From the pistol formation, Edson's going to run to his right, and he's going to be shirt tail from behind and down at the 12. He was able to squeeze 4 yards out of that. Fort Morgan's up to the line of scrimmage. I don't know if they'll run another play.
I don't know. I see Linker standing on the sideline. He doesn't seem to be. He has his helmet on and stuff. Maybe they're just giving him a little break.
Yeah, they're going to run another play here before the quarter expires. 6 seconds to go. Edson awaits a snap. 2nd and 6 from the 12. Hands it off to Hamer. Stutter steps and tries to get out of a tackle and does, but he's going to be taken down for a loss of 3, and that's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Fort Morgan 19, Northfield 3. A 1-minute break on B106 and B106.com. John Beltran with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde. As we go to the second quarter here from All City Stadium in Denver, the Mustangs lead the Northfield Nighthawks by a score of 19-3. 3 touchdown passes for Linker. The Mustangs, though, face a 3rd down and 9 from the 15 after J.P. Hamer was thrown for a 3-yard loss. Isaac Linker
back in the game.
That is correct. Let's see if Linker can come up with a 4th touchdown pass. On 3rd and 9 from the 15-yard line. Linker will hand it off this time to K.O. Langford, but Langford cannot get out of a tackle at the line of scrimmage as he was running to his left, trying to hit the edge, but wrestled down by Lundeen Augusta. And there's a Nighthawk down at the 17-yard line on the other side of the field. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, not a lot of room out there for Langford. So apparently they're giving a little bit of breaks to these players. Linker had a little bit there at the end of the first quarter, and now Hamer not out there right at the moment.
Well, there are some coaches who wait till later in the game, but I like what Ty Davies is doing, because when you do it now, you're facing varsity starters.
Right.
If you wait till later, then you're facing probably second-teamers from the other team, and to me, that can deter the progress a little bit as opposed to facing that better competition.
Right, and you're also out there with the rest of the varsity kids, going at varsity speed. If you go out with the whole JV team, 4th quarter, they're all going JV speed. Where
Right.
Caden's out there just now, for example, playing with the varsity, everything's varsity speed, and that's good experience for him.
Would that be Nickel, Rohde, Beltran speed, or is that a dimension even lower?
JV speed? They're way above Nickel.
Yeah.
Beltran
Yeah.
speed.
All right, maybe I was thinking back to the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Or the 70s.
Or the 70s.
Yeah. All right, here we go. It'll be 4th down and 9 to go for the 15. The Mustangs will go for it. They don't have their field goal kicker, their number 1 out here, Jose Jimenez. But again, the passing game has been good today, with the 3 touchdown passes thrown by Linker so far from the pistol. Early moments of the second quarter. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. Linker, play action, rolling out to his right, still rolling. He throws on the run towards the end zone, and it is going to be incomplete. Even had the ball been caught, which it was by Ortega, he ran out of sideline. A flag is down.
In the defensive secondary.
See if that was defensive holding or if they were calling a pick on Cardona. Defensive
holding against Northfield, but that's not an automatic first down in high school football.
No.
So Fort Morgan will have to run another 4th down play. That should take it to the 10-yard line, making a 4th down and 4 situation. And this could open it up. You could throw something underneath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, now that should place it at the 5. Or at 7.5, they go half the distance. I'm sorry. I was thinking 5-yard penalty like the, but that's, it's at the 7. They'll give him the 8 instead. Yeah, it's the 8-yard line. So now it's 4th down and 3. Oh, they could run it with Hamer here. On a 4th and 3, you don't have to pass the ball. Let's see what they like to do. 4th and 3 from the 8. Linker is going to take it himself off right tackle to the 5. He's got a first down to the 1. Nice blocking along the right side there as Linker carried it for 7 yards. And they're right up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and goal for the 1. Is it Hamer time? No, it's Linker time. Stutter stepping, and then he just bulls his way into the end zone behind his right guard. And Fort Morgan scores for the 4th time here in the opening half. 1-yard run there by Isaac Linker. Fort Morgan 25, Northfield 3.
Yeah, nice.
They're getting a nice push.
Yeah, they are. They're getting that offensive line is winning that line of scrimmage.
But I think this is what we mentioned, Kevin. You made the point at the outset. The skill position players are normally ahead with a young school like this, ahead of those linemen who are still trying to develop. Cardona to attempt the extra point, and that one is blocked. We have 11:09 to go, second quarter. Fort Morgan 25, Northfield 3 on B106 and B106.com. And the only issues the Mustangs are having are the conversions. They've only converted 1. But Isaac Linker with a 1-yard sneak there. Really wasn't a sneak out of the pistol. And Fort Morgan with a lead 25-3 over Northfield. And this time Jacob Ortega, will kick it off. This is, I believe, his second kickoff of the season. That's a liner towards the sideline, and it bounces out of bounds at about the 10-yard line. And once again, Northfield will start at the 35. I mean, it's like Devin Hester's back there.
Right. Maybe just kind of kick a squib that one of the up guys around the 30 has to pick up and hopefully get down there and tackle him before he gets 5 yards.
Well, Cardona had gone out on the field initially, and then they called him back, and Ortega was elected to kick off.
I wonder if Fort Morgan coaches are hoping the soccer team doesn't make the playoffs. So that we have them down the road. I'm sure not.
They were ranked 10th in a recent poll. Then they exited the top 10 after a double overtime loss, and we have a timeout. And I believe that timeout was called by Fort Morgan.
I believe so.
We'll keep it right here. The Mustangs lead 25-3. Colorado Plains Medical Center has experienced physicians and a highly trained surgical team trained in the latest surgical procedures. Explore what procedures are possible in your hometown, Colorado Plains Medical Center. And like a good neighbor, Greg Mullen and his team at State Farm Insurance are there to make the insurance world easy for you. 842-4555, Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance. The Mustangs play their final regular season road game next week on a Friday when they take on the Rough Riders of Roosevelt in Johnstown. Conditions won't even be as close to as pleasant as they are right now. Calling for some rain on Friday, but we'll see. It's still 6 days away. Fort Morgan won their first 2 games of the year, lost, and now looking for their second 2-game winning streak. And with a 25-3 lead, they have not been stopped yet offensively. They've scored on all 4 possessions. 1 on a short field coming off a blocked punt. 1st and 10 for Northfield at their own 35-yard line. The receiver to the left is Richard Swanson. Andre Thomas out to the right, being defended over there by Donovan Moya. They're double teaming him, Ortega. And there's the handoff right up the middle. The ball is stripped. It's loose. And I think Northfield might have landed on it back at the 21. But that was a heck of a strip in the middle. And that was Hurd who got stripped. And I think the guy that stripped him there for Fort Morgan, I saw Yanez.
Yep.
Get his hand on the football. Loss of 4. 2nd down and 14 at the 31. You know, I'm surprised they haven't thrown the ball more to Thomas after that huge 56-yard play. And he's got all the height, too. He's got considerable height on Moya and Ortega. Now back to throw. Here's a new quarterback throwing and getting hit. The ball is tipped incomplete. Nearly picked off by Ortega. And, boy, taking a shot there. An absolute shot from behind was Darbre Johnson. And Mustangs had backside pressure, 3rd down and 14.
And then James Hoeknodel greeted himself to the quarterback that time.
I think Darbre wants to go back to wide receiver after that play.
3rd down and 14. It looks like he's still in there under center, just outside the 30. This will be a give on the right side to Watkins. That's the sideline to the 35. And then is hit along the sideline. Tackled by Nick Norris, who's flat on his back at the 38. It's a gain of 7, but Norris getting up very slowly.
Well, it looks like a player on the sideline for Northfield's down, too.
4th down and 7, but Norris is up and getting up under his own power.
I don't see number 5 anywhere on the sidelines.
No, that's Earl Watkins is down. The running back himself, he might have, Norris might have landed on top of him.
Yeah, I was just wondering why Miranda's not out there at quarterback right now.
Oh, they got a new punter as well. No, that's Silva. That's the normal punter. Ortega and Moya back deep to receive for Fort Morgan. 10-12 to go, 2nd quarter. The Mustangs lead 25-3. Isaac Linker has a touchdown run and 3 touchdown passes to 3 different receivers. Fajardo, well, actually in order, Cardona, Jacob Ortega, and Connor Fajardo. Again, Watkins still being treated along the sideline. Took a pounding on that carry of 8. 4th and 7. Now Silva to punt, standing at his own 20. John Beltran with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde from All City Stadium. Let's see if they get the snap to him quicker, and the left guard move for Northfield. So that'll make it 4th down and 12 from the 33.
I'm thinking that maybe they were looking to do a fake punt. They have a different punter back there, and the way that lineman took off, it was like he was run blocking rather than punt blocking.
Trying to get a head start.
Awaiting the snap, and it bounces in on a hop. The ball is loose. It's picked up by Silva. Cardona's got him. It's still loose, and now the Mustangs have it at the 11. So they're in the red zone already as Villalobos fell on the football. On the ball that bounced into the punter, Silva.
Yeah, they got to get a long snapper developed.
So it's 1st down and 10 at the 11.
Looks like number 5, Elijah Miranda, is down on the bench, maybe having his ankle looked at by the trainer.
Right. Well, Hamer's got to be wondering after scoring, I believe 4 touchdowns last week, if he's going to get an opportunity here. 1st down and 10 for the 11. But then again, they have to work on the passing game, which has been good today. Linker hands it off to Hamer, breaks out of a tackle at the 11, and he drives inside the 10 to the 7, a gain of 4. That could have been a disaster for Fort Morgan. He was contacted as soon as he received the handoff, but he's so nifty. Hamer picks up 4 yards. Hamer now with 7 carries in the game for 55 yards. Second down and 6 to go from the 7 for Fort Morgan. Moya, the receiver, to the left, but it looks like a run formation here. Linker to hand it off to Hamer. Left side to the 5, and he's in easily. He wasn't hit until he crossed the goal line. 7 yards out for J.P. Hamer, his 9th touchdown of the year, 7th on the ground. And Fort Morgan now leads 31-3 with 9:21 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it looks like they're going to try and kick the extra point again.
Well, you know, those are simple points you got to work on. Adam has hit 1. That snap is good. That kick is up. That kick looks good, and that kick is off to the right. 9:21 to go, second quarter. Fort Morgan 31, Northfield 3, just off to the right. This is B106 and B106.com. J.P. Hamer with a 7-yard run. Right off the left side, it was a piece of cake for J.P., and the Mustangs now lead 31-3. And that line drive kick, was that Ortega who kicked that? I believe it was to the 7. Thomas picks it up now along the sideline to the 20, and the Mustangs are there to meet him at about the 22-yard line. And the first Mustang in on the play was Ernie Sendova. Check that. Alex Atwood made the hit.
Yeah, it was good coverage that time.
Right.
Like you were talking about, just squibbed it down there and just made him go chase it down.
Yep. Andre Thomas, the number 1 tall receiver who ended up with that, got roughed up a little bit on that play. He's kind of hobbling around out there. But they really haven't targeted him with another pass since then, since he had that one big long.
They are double teaming him. Dylan Woods out there, along with Moya, corner and a safety. First and 10 from the 21. Miranda to throw to his right. The pass is caught underneath. A gain of 8 to the 29. As Linker makes the tackle, and that was caught by Richard Swanson.
Yeah, nice looking quick pass. Little button hook there by Swanson.
Second down and 2 to go. Check it, 3 to go. As the original line of scrimmage was the 22, not the 21. 2 receivers to the right, operating on the right hash mark on the short side of the field. There's the handoff on the right side, and Hurd is going to be taken down for a loss. He couldn't get out of the backfield. Frankie Ortega combined with Case Givens to make the tackle. So a freshman and a junior make the play. The loss is a yard. But they actually, even though he was hit even further back.
Yeah, Fort Morgan's defense is really putting a hurt on Hurd today.
Third down and 4. Had that one in your hip pocket for a while. Good job, Kevin. Third and 4 at the 28. Under 8 minutes to go, second quarter. Timeout called by Northfield. It was 7:58 to go. That's a second timeout they've used up here in this half. See what over a century of customer service can do for you at High Plains Bank in Wiggins, offering you a variety of banking needs, including agriculture and personal loans. High Plains Bank in Wiggins. This is Morgan County's B106 KPRB, Brush, Fort Morgan. John Beltran with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde live from All City Stadium in Denver, where Fort Morgan is looking to put together maybe their biggest output total point-wise of the season. It's got to be against Brush when they scored, 42?
Yep.
They've got 31 so far, and we've only played 16 minutes and 5 seconds of football. This could be a 42-point half. To get to a running clock, which was one of the keys in Brian's nickel package, you got to lead by 40. They don't need to convert another extra point. If they just hold Northfield off the board and score 2 touchdowns, that would get them up by 40. But it's third down and 4 to go for Northfield at their own 28-yard line. With 1 setback, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, quick drop, throwing out to the right. The pass is broken up beautifully at the 34-yard line by Connor Fajardo, intended for Swanson. He read that right off the right hand Miranda, and I think, is Miranda down again?
Yeah, I didn't see him get hit.
I didn't either. I took my eyes off the ball when he threw it.
That might be a lineman, though. Not sure. No, I think
That is Miranda,
yeah, that is the quarterback.
He had issues with one of his lower legs earlier.
I don't think it was. I think he injured that just releasing the ball, and maybe when he took that step. So he is down. Miranda with some moderate success so far in the game, as he has completed 5 of his 8 passes for 87 yards, including the 56-yarder to Andre Thomas. But it's 4th and 4. I think that's the 3rd Nighthawk to be attended to in this first half.
And that athletic trainer that's out there working on him, she's been working on people in between plays that haven't had to be carried off or walked off. A lot of stretching issues, a lot of cramps on the Northfield side. So they've got him sitting up. That's good news.
Yeah, he's getting up slowly, or will be getting up slowly here momentarily. But that might do it for the rest of the game for Miranda. Oh, yeah, he can't put any weight on that right leg. Yeah, so Johnson will quarterback the rest of the game, you would think. And into punt for Northfield is Juan Silva.
Another adventure coming up here for them.
Well, they've had a punt blocked, another one that the snap fell well short, and Fort Morgan recovered at the 11. So they've operated with 2 very, very short fields. So Silva waits a snap at the 14-yard line. Ortega and Moya back deep to receive inside their own 40. And we still have 7:50 to go. And again, it takes a while to get to them. And end over end and towards the sideline, bounces at the 41, takes a huge Northfield roll, picked up by Moy at the 26, breaks a tackle right there along the sideline to the 40, back to the middle at the 45, snaps out of a tackle at the 50, then he's down right there. A return of 24 yards for Donovan Moya. So the Mustangs operating with half the football field. The Northfield tackle was made by Chantrell Andrews. And Linker and the offense back out there. They've scored on all 5 possessions. But only 31 points because of the missed conversions.
Which in a game like this doesn't matter, but you get down towards the end or get into the playoffs, and those conversions will definitely be a problem.
1st and 10 from midfield for the Mustangs, up 31-3 with 7:33 to go in the second quarter. This game did start 10 minutes after the scheduled time of 2 o'clock Mountain Time. The backs are split, Hamer and Ortega. And Linker will keep the football himself. He's got the left sideline to operate, then pitches it at the last second to Hamer. Hamer breaks out of a tackle at the 40, and then he's spun down at the 36. We'll call that a pitch. It almost looked like it was forward.
Yeah, that's not the way they did it back at Oklahoma back in the Wishbone days for sure.
Gain of 14 for Hamer, because if that was forward, he would have been beyond the line of scrimmage.
Right. I thought maybe Hamer was going to try to get right in front of him and block for him.
Right.
But
1st and 10 for the Mustangs at the 36-yard line. Now the outside receiver to the right is a sophomore, Malachi Yanis. Ortega on the inside slot. Mustangs have run very free in this game with their wide receivers. Linker from the pistol, hands it off to Hamer. Stutter stepping, dancing back towards the middle, backing his way to the 30. He's still not down, carrying defenders inside the 25. Then he's wrestled down at the 23. That's just not good tackling there for Northfield. They should have had Hamer well before that. Instead, he picks up 13 yards and a Fort Morgan first down.
yeah, that was all Hamer on that one.
Yep, James Hokenottle, 54, was in on that scrum, helping move the whole pile down the field.
89 yards for Hamer on 10 carries. 1st and 10 at the 23. Yeah, they might be able to get to that 40-point lead before halftime with all this time left. Linker again with a hand clap from the pistol. He keeps the football to the 25, running to his right to the 10. Now back to the middle to the 5. It's a touchdown for Isaac Linker. Jitterbugging his way for 23 yards. And Fort Morgan is 6 for 6 on possessions today. Fort Morgan now leads 37-3. Linker from 23. That's his second rushing touchdown of the game.
Yeah, he just pulled that down and found there was plenty of room for him there, but he got some nice blocks downfield to get him into the end zone.
Well, play fake to Hamer is a pretty good thing that you have to respect as a defense.
Cardona to attempt the extra point. That one is up. I think he might have hooked that one. Nope, it's inside the left upright. It's good. 6:16 to go, second quarter. Fort Morgan 38, Northfield 3 on B106 and B106.com. The Mustangs now lead Northfield 38-3. 23-yard run by Isaac Linker. Jacob Ortega to kick it off. And really the key play was not even on the drive. The key play was that 24-yard return by Donovan Moya off the punt, placing it at midfield, shortening up the field. Still have 6:16 to go in the second quarter. Ortega with a line drive towards the sideline, bounces the 15, and then it bounces out of bounds at the 9. Swanson let it go. Still a pretty good kick by Jacob. But again, decent field position for Northfield.
Just need to try to keep it in the field of play.
Right.
So the Mustangs have put together 38 points. That's definitely a season high for points and a half. And we still have not even played half of the second quarter. They led 19-3 after one, and they have doubled their point total here in the second. Johnson is the quarterback for the injured Miranda. 1st and 10 for the 35. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right with 1 setback. I believe that's Watkins. Deep drop for Johnson. Pressure coming up the middle, throws it deep up the middle. Incomplete. At the 43-yard line, Dylan Woods was the closest Mustang. The closest receiver was Davion Hinton. It'll be second down.
They got a little pressure on him there, but it wasn't real quick coming on him. But
We'll have a very quick second half if Fort Morgan can score one more time, because we'll get to a running clock well before halftime. Trips to the left on second down and 10 from the 35. Johnson is going to hand it off, and the ball is fumbled in the backfield, and Norris has got it. Nick Norris picked it up. He was down on it initially.
That slipped through his hands. And
did Northfield get it?
No, Fort Morgan got that ball.
52 ended up with
Northfield.
Miko Yanez.
Right.
Oh,
it was fumbled there by, I believe, Watkins, and then
Miko.
Yep. So at the 30-yard line, the mistakes really have been on special teams, but I think Nick Norris, looked like they stopped play when he had it, and then another Mustang came up with it.
Yep.
Linker still out there, 1st and 10 at the 30. This more than likely will be his final possession if Fort Morgan scores again, because then you get to a running clock and we'd get to halftime quickly with 6:03 to go in the second quarter. We have an official's time with only 30 yards to go until the Mustangs get into the land of no hash marks again. They've scored 6 times in the opening half. Linker is going to hand it off to Hamer. He can't get out of the backfield, and he backs his way to the 33. Tremendous penetration right up the gut. Very good play there by Northfield's Germany Clayton. Second down and 13 to go. Hamer now 11 carries for 86 yards. Yanez the receiver to the left. Moya out to the right, along with Dylan Woods. Ortega's now the lone setback. On second down and 13 from the 33-yard line. Linker for the pistol. Linker has the football. Rolls out to his right. Pressure coming. And he's going to run out of that pressure. Still on his feet to the 30-yard line. He's carrying defenders. And then he's tackled by about 3 Northfield Nighthawks at the 28. When he was slammed down, that could have been a disaster for Fort Morgan. Instead, he picks up 4 yards. They'll give him the 29. 3rd down and 9 to go for Fort Morgan.
Yeah, he got pressure right away. He didn't have time to set up, look downfield at all, see what was open.
Boy, had a screen been called there, would have gone the distance. But you don't always know. 3rd down and 9 for the Mustangs at the Northfield 29. 38-3 Fort Morgan, 4:43 to go, second quarter. The backs are split. In motion to the right is Moya. There's the pitch right to Moya. Gets a block from Ortega, but he's going to be held short. In fact, he might have only gotten a yard to the 28. That's it for Moya. Just 1 yard. Now you'd think Fort Morgan's going to go for it here on 4th down and 8 from the 28.
Yeah.
Again, they have scored on all 6 possessions, but if they don't get 8 yards, that'll end the string. 4th and 8 at the 28. Ortega the lone setback. 3 receivers known as trips to the left. 1 to the right. On 4th and 8. Linker, low snap, looking to throw. He's deep up the left side. Wide open is Moya. He's got it at the 3. Touchdown! Donovan Moya on 4th and 8 from 28 yards away. Isaac Linker's 4th touchdown pass of the game, and Fort Morgan now leads 44-3. That should get the running clock going, but the clock is frozen. That clock should be going.
Yeah, it should be running.
There it goes.
There we go.
Yeah. You know how many passes Linker's completed today?
Probably 3 touchdowns.
4 for
Well, no, 4 for touchdown.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I wasn't good at math.
For 124 yards, 4 out of 4.
Wow.
In order, Cardona, Ortega, Fajardo, and Donovan Moya. That was on 4th and 8. And he threw it towards that left corner at the 3-yard line. Almost like a deep down and out. Now Cardona with the extra point.
And usually when there's an injury, which is what's been going on the last 35 seconds, they stop it even when it's a running clock. But these officials letting it run through that.
Yeah.
Waiting the snap. Cardona's kick is up. I think it's good from here. I'm going to say yes. I finally got one right. All right. In a running clock. Fort Morgan 45, Northfield 3. It's a 30-second break on B106 and B106.com. The Mustangs now lead 44-3. They equal Thomas Jefferson's point total from last week when they won 44-0. This kick is fielded at the 16. That is Swanson running to his right across the 30. And he's tackled by a host of Mustangs at the 33, including Yahi Munoz. And also getting up, Chris Schneider, the junior.
Seemed Fort Morgan adjusted the kicking game since they kept kicking it to the left. They move it to the right hash mark. That way when they kick it to the left, it doesn't go out of bounds.
Right. Under a running clock here. Minute 12 to go, so maybe only about 3 plays at the most, unless they call a timeout left for Northfield. 1st and 10 at their 32. Johnson, the quarterback, is going to hand it off to Hurd, and he can not get out of the backfield. Spun down at the 29. Isaiah Celestino made the tackle. It's a loss of 3.
Fort Morgan starting to sub in now. We've got Simon Graff over there providing the coverage on Thomas.
I feel bad for Hurd. He's got 4 carries for a negative 11 yards. 2nd down and 13 to go. Yeah, this will be it for the Fort Morgan starters here. 24 seconds to go, and Northfield calls their final timeout with 22.6 to go.
Well, I was hoping they'd get to the running clock. I didn't think it'd be this quick, but they sure didn't come out overlooking Northfield, that's for sure, and looking down the road.
Right.
We'll be at Johnstown on Friday. We'll kick off at 7 o'clock with the Mustang Express at 6 o'clock against the Roosevelt Rough Riders. As Fort Morgan has put together their biggest point total of the season. And quite frankly, was expected in this game. It's a very young school in Northfield.
Yep, Roosevelt coming off their first victory over a Glenwood Springs team, 16-10 last night. So they'll have a little momentum coming into it.
And Glenwood was the team that handed Conifer their only loss before Fort Morgan beat Conifer last week by 20.
Right.
Second down and 13 to go for Northfield at their own 29. Hurd is in there as a setback. Two receivers split each side. They put it up, look for possibly for a Fort Morgan turnover. Back to throw, throwing out to the left. It's caught underneath by Swanson, breaks a tackle, has the sideline, goes out of bounds, but it's a gain of, about 12 yards for Swanson. And yeah, they should get the running clock going. Yeah.
No,
I thought they were out of timeouts.
yeah, that was their third timeout.
I thought, yeah, they had used up all their timeouts. Yep. And that should be the half.
Hey, reset the clock to 15 seconds. 15 seconds. 15 seconds.
Why?
Well, unless they called a timeout, but I didn't think they had a timeout left.
It ran out of bounds. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Right,
matter.
so running clock.
That's it, half over.
Yeah, so that's it. The half is over with the score. Fort Morgan 44, make it 45. Fort Morgan 45, Northfield 3. This is B106 and B106.com. Momentarily, we'll go to the second half here at All City Stadium in Denver with the Mustangs leading the Northfield Nighthawks 45-3. 4 first half touchdown passes from Isaac Linker. I'm sure he's done for the game. 2 touchdown runs as well. And J.P. Hamer with a touchdown run. So Fort Morgan now will just play essentially 24 minutes of football into this running clock.
Far side, Frankie Ortega, warming up his punting leg since he didn't get to use it at all first half.
Yeah. Well, let's see if Caden Ensign is the quarterback for this entire second half for Fort Morgan.
Maybe they'll even get in that third string quarterback.
Right. And Jackson Langford, the sophomore. Yeah, we'll find out here momentarily as the Mustangs will kick off. And even if the lead goes under 40, it's still a running clock. Once it's at 40 or over, it's a running clock the remainder of the game.
Wonder if ever in the annals of high school football a team has come back from a 40-point deficit during a running clock and won the game.
Yeah, that would be. It would have to have happened in the first quarter.
Right.
Just for the time element, obviously.
Right.
Well, I think Frankie Ortega might be out there. No, he will not kick it off. Let's see if they have another.
So Jacobs coming out with a.
Yeah, he'll kick it off once again for the 40. So those appear to be all underclassmen on special teams right now. And those are all. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at least based on everybody I'm seeing out there.
And the Nighthawks have adjusted to our kicking to the left side. They have moved Andre Thomas over to the left.
All right, so here we go. Ortega to begin the second half. He booms a line drive, bounces to the 16, picked up at the 10. Running to his right is Swanson across the 20, breaks it up a tackle, and he's tackled from behind at the 30 by Chris Schneider. Got him on the shoestring. And here we go with a running clock. I'm going to count the number of plays you get under a running clock. Of course, they can stop it due to injury or timeout. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 31.
Yeah, sure. Somebody on defense will only count 10 out there.
So we should be done here. Well, won't be till closer to 4:15.
Yep.
That's because the halftime's the longest part of the rest of the game after the second quarter running clock got instituted. First and 10 from the 31. Johnson will hand it off, and back up the middle is Hurd, and he is pounded at the 32-yard line. Tremendous hit by Gabe Vickers, a sophomore, and he's a wrestler, and he pile drove him right back towards the 30. It's a gain of 1. Second down and 9 to go for Northfield.
Yeah, that was a pretty good takedown right there.
Yeah. They'll take their time in the huddle, just trying to take some, not necessarily time off the clock, but run their normal offense. Second down and 9 for Northfield at their own 32. Fort Morgan leads with 10:37 to go in the third, 45-3. Johnson, deep drop, looks to his left, throws it out to his left. It's caught underneath. Breaking out of a tackle is Thomas, and he's down at the 40-yard line.
Nice open field tackle there by Simon Graff, the senior.
It's a gain of 8. Third down and a yard to go. It's the second, make it the third reception for Andre Thomas. And Northfield wants to score. I mean, they're not out here just running out the rest of the game.
This is when they can work on their plays, work on their offense.
And Graff is a senior, so valuable time for him. 3rd and 1 at the 40. With a lone setback, but Johnson again to throw. Backs up, throws it to his right. The pass is caught, and that's going to be a first down at the 42. A nice grab as the hit was made by Frankie Ortega, but the catch was made along the right side line near the Northfield bench by Paul Ty. Gain of 2.
Just enough for the first down, but nice coverage there by was that Frankie Ortega?
First and 10 at the 42-yard line. 9:15 to go, third quarter. 2 receivers split out to the left. With 1 setback. The ball is dropped, it's loose, and falling on it is Johnson back at the 41. Second down. They're going to give him back to the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure. Yeah, back at the line of scrimmage. So second down and 10 to go.
Pulled out of there a little quick.
You wonder if Fort Morgan's going to get more than 2 possessions in this half. That's going to depend upon how well the defense plays. Second down and 10 for Northfield at their own 42-yard line on the right hash mark. This will be a give on the left side to Watkins, and he's corralled in the backfield. He's thrown for a loss of 2. Back to the 40-yard line. The first hit was made by Draven Wood, a sophomore. And also, Jake Redding, a junior, was in on the play.
And I didn't really write down all the numbers of Northfield's starting offensive line, but I've got to believe that some of the smaller kids out there now are probably their JV linemen too.
Third down and 12 for the 40. Smack dab in the middle of the field right now. Passing situation. Deep drop for Johnson. Pressure coming backside. Spins to his left. Gets out of it. Vickers on a chase, and he throws it away. That should be grounding unless, I guess, do they have an outside the tackle by? Yeah, it's grounding. He didn't even get it back to the line of scrimmage. No receiver out there. So that will be grounding and a loss of down. It'll be 4th down, and wow, it's got to be about 25 or 30 yards to go. And Northfield to punt. Juan Silva will punt, and Gabe Vickers applied massive pressure. He didn't give up on the play.
No, it was nice defensive pressure by that defensive line.
Wow. I mean, that amounts to a loss back to the 22. So officially it's 4th down and 30. So Silva to punt. Frankie Ortega back deep to receive. A little bit of a high snap. Pressure's coming. A fluttering punt. Frankie is going to call for the, no, he didn't call for the fair catch at the 46-yard line. He's still running to his left towards the 50. Now along the near sideline, he's dragged out of bounds at the 44, 43-yard line. I guess he didn't call for that fair catch. And Jackson Langford, the sophomore quarterback, will get his first action of 2018.
Yeah, had noticed that he called for fair catch and apparently didn't. And came out of it okay.
Yeah, that return went for 12 yards, but he ran a lot more than 12 because so many of those yards were lateral. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at the 42-yard line of Northfield. I'm sure they'll keep it simple here for Jackson, his first varsity action. Operating out of the pistol. Let's see who the setback is for Fort Morgan.
Thought it was Angel Flores, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can't spot that number right now. We'll get it in just a second. From the 42, we're just taking a lot of time off the clock because either Northfield had a player.
They had equipment malfunction on the lineman.
Yeah, it's just chewing up time. It's been about 1:15 since that last play ended. Close to it. Out of the pistol, 1st and 10 for the 42 of Northfield. Langford, low snap, is going to hand it off, and no gain there. Smacked down. That's going to be Angel Flores. You're right, Kevin. Right at the line of scrimmage. Lost half a yard. 2nd down and 10 to go. A long 10 for Fort Morgan.
Yeah, a lot of good experience here this afternoon for the underclassmen.
Ball at the 42.5-yard line. 2nd down and 10. They're right up to the line of scrimmage. They want to maximize this possession.
Ernie Sandoval in at the wing back.
Just shy of the 42. Langford this time to Flores, right up the middle. He drives inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. The hit was made by John Medina. 3rd down and 7 to go for the Mustangs, who scored on all 7 possessions in the opening half. And I don't know if they punt here because they're inside the 40, unless they lose a lot of yardage here. On 3rd and 7 from the 39. Man in motion to the right is Flores. There's a pitch right to Flores. Went a little bit behind him, cuts it back to the inside, and is back to the line of scrimmage. He had to reach back and get it. 4th down and 7 to go. So Flores got all the carries on this possession. Do they keep it on the ground or do they put it up here?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I mean, the clock runs, so.
Graff is the receiver to the right. Yanez and Leo Luna to the left. Flores alone setback from the pistol. 4th down and 7 from the 39. Jackson Langford has the snap. 3-step drop. Looks to his left. Throws over the middle. Complete at the 30-yard line to Luna. He delivered a bullet. 1st down at the 28-yard line. That's an excellent pass. And a gain of 11 to keep the drive going for the Mustangs. And another Nighthawk is down at the 40.
And that will stop the clock.
Yeah, that was a nice-looking pass there by Langford.
Yeah, it's nice to see him get his first varsity completion on his first varsity attempt.
There you go. All right, so a Nighthawk being attended to at the 40-yard line. They've taken a pounding during this game. And again, that's the only thing that will stop the clock, either a timeout called by either team or an injury to any player. With a 45-3 Fort Morgan lead. Isaac Linker had touchdown passes in the first half to Adam Cardona from 22 yards away. Jacob Ortega 18 yards out. A 56-yarder to Connor Fajardo and 28 to Donovan Moya. That's the first completion by a Mustang quarterback that was not for a touchdown. And that was by sophomore Jackson Langford. Mustangs also got a 7-yard touchdown run from J.P. Hamer. A 1-yarder and a 23-yarder from the starting quarterback Isaac Linker.
John Medina, the injured Nighthawk.
As soon as he is off the field, they'll restart the clock. This would be a great confidence booster. Now Frankie Ortega is in at the tailback position. 1st and 10 at the 28. And the clock rolls again. To Kevin Rohde's happiness. From the pistol. And the ball is fumbled as Ortega was hit, but a Mustang offensive lineman fell on it at the 30 Miko Yanez saved the possession for Fort Morgan, second down and 12. Oh, there was no blocking there.
No, they were right there on the handoff.
So the offensive line's got to do a little better than that.
Yeah, there was no blocking at all there. Second down and 12 to go from the 30. They can take this possession to the fourth quarter with 3 more plays or close to it. From the 30, Langford will hand it off up the middle. Frankie drives, and he's still going, still on his feet. He carries defenders to the 20. Wow, what a run by Ortega, piggybacking them to the 16. It's a gain of 14 and a first down. Nobody got him around the lower body, and Frankie just kept going.
He had a bunch of his buddies helping him along the way.
First and 10 at the 16.
26. Sorry about that. I was helping out the stats people.
Minute 43 to go. Flores alone setback at the 16. More than likely he'll get the football here. Nope, Langford keeps it in. The ball is fumbled and it's recovered. I don't know what happened. And now the ball is still loose. I think Northfield fell on it at the 20. It looked like they had it initially.
Yeah.
Did the Mustangs keep possession of that ball?
Yep.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Right, 52 there, Yanez.
But that was still, there was a confusion there between Langford and Flores. They kind of ran into each other.
Yeah, Langford looked like he was going to tuck it as a keeper. And
Chris Snyder coming in, the junior.
A minute to go here in the third. Second down and 14. That was a mess. He was running to his left, and there was a collision there. And that's what I thought, but it looked like his own running back dislodged the ball from the quarterback accidentally, obviously. Second down and 14 for the 20. Flores again the setback. This will be the final play, you would think, of the third quarter. Langford hands it off to Flores. Nice hole up the middle. Then he's driven back after a gain of a yard at the 19. That's an excellent form tackle by Hermione Clayton. Third down and 13 to go for Fort Morgan after the 1 yard gainer by Flores.
I think they would just let this run out and go to the fourth quarter.
But I don't think they're even looking up at the clock. They're just trying to maximize the possession.
Yeah.
And now that will be the end of the third quarter with the score, Fort Morgan 45, Northfield 3 on B106 and B106.com. Let's head to the fourth quarter. Fort Morgan leads Northfield 45-3. No points scored in this quarter. Both teams had one possession. In fact, Fort Morgan is still in possession, an extension of the possession they had in the third. But right now it's a 3rd and 13 for the 19-yard line. Jackson Langford, the quarterback, in the pistol, 5 yards behind center. Man in motion to the right is Leo Luna. He's got the pitch to his right, tries to swing it to the outside, but there's no blocking, and he's thrown for a massive loss back to the 25, a loss of 6. And it'll be fourth down and a ton.
Yeah, not much blocking out there on that right side.
He's got to get... it's 4th and 19. He's got to get to the 6. Well, passing situation. This has been Northfield's weakness. They have not been solid here defending the pass. 4th and 19 for the 25 in the opening minute of the fourth quarter. Man in motion is Luna again. Langford will take off with the football, but he's going nowhere. Just running behind his left guard, but he lost a yard. And Northfield will take over.
Not taking any chances.
First and 10 at the 26.
Looks like Northfield has their JV team out there now.
Fort Morgan maybe can come up with a turnover here. If not, we're going to end this game the way we had it at halftime, score-wise.
Well, they still have number 1 Andre Thomas in there.
Yeah.
First and 10 from the 26. With 10:10 to go. There's the deep handoff, running left. I believe that's probably Watkins, and it is, along the left sideline. He's driven out of bounds. Chased out of bounds over there by Dustin Turner. The gain went for about 4 to the 30. Second down and 6 to go. That was his 6th carry of the game for 11 yards. From the 30-yard line. Again, Watkins, the lone setback. Thomas, the receiver, to the right. Quick drop, looking to throw. To his left, pressured, and trying to run out of his Johnson. Now flushed, he rolls out to his right, takes off with a football, and then he's down at the 34. Did pick up some yardage. Was able to gain 4 yards before he was grabbed around the ankles. And the Fort Morgan tackler over there was Nick Castaneda, senior. Well, they give him close to 5 yards. 3rd down and a yard to go for Northfield.
And this is good experience for these underclassmen for Fort Morgan.
There's a nice open field tackle out there.
We have some guys that we don't even have numbers for playing. 81 out here on the near side.
Yep, I don't have that number. 3rd down and 1 to go for Northfield at their own 35-yard line. 45-3 Fort Morgan, 8.5 to go. Handoff, Watkins, he's going to be wrestled down in the backfield. Going to lose about 3 yards. Tremendous penetration by Case Givens. The junior made the tackle, a loss of 3. It'll be 4th and 4.
Yeah, nice. The secondary group is doing a nice job out there for this Mustang defense.
It'll be 4th and a short 4. They're going to send in the punt team. Juan Silva to punt. We have under 8 minutes of football remaining, unless there's an injury or a timeout call, but I think these teams just want to get this game over with.
Yeah.
Straight up at the top of the hour, if you're listening live, this is KPRB Brush Fort Morgan, also known as Morgan County's B106. John Beltran with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde, 45-3 Fort Morgan. That was the score at halftime. And they've kept it going. Silva gets it off. High, fluttering, end over end, takes a Fort Morgan roll back towards the 50, down at the 50.
Yeah, he got off a decent punt, just rolled the wrong way for him.
All right, so one more possession. You figured 2 possessions in the second half. Right. This will be the last one, you'd think, for the Mustangs.
It'll be nice to see him sustain the drive and make it the last one of the game.
Be nice.
Yeah, at the very least, I mean, with a running clock, you chew up about 2.5 to 3 minutes. Unless they get a big play, they won't find the end zone. Not 50 yards away. With 6:38 to go. Chris Schneider is now lined up as a receiver to the right. As Frankie Ortega now lining up on the inside slot to the left. 1st and 10 from midfield. Langford with a handoff. I believe that's Flores across the 50 to the 48. Nope, that's not him. That's somebody else. That's Matt. Well, that's Matt Flores. Gain of 2. Second down and 8. So they've gone from Angel to Matt to Frankie Ortega. All have carried the football in this game. On 2nd and 8 from the 48. Langford to Matt Flores off left tackle, and he's taken down for a loss back at the 50. 3rd and 10 at midfield.
Yeah, pretty tough running out there right now. Not getting that block up front.
Right. That's something that Fort Morgan's going to have to work on, get those underclassmen linemen in the weight room and working on that. So It's one of the things Coach Edson told me last night, that they're so happy about Eddie DePriest, the sophomore, that he's really put in a lot of time in the workroom or the weight room, and he's seen a lot of improvement because of it.
Frankie Ortega with a pitch left, breaking tackles in the secondary, a first down across the 35 to the 30. It's a gain of 20. He did a lot of that on his own because he was hit right around the line of scrimmage off that pitch left. And Frankie Ortega has 3 carries for 32 yards.
Yeah, it was nice. He got out there and had a little spin move out there and got down to the 30.
He's a little shifty, and he can make people miss, which is a good thing for a running back.
First and 10 from the 30-yard line, approaching the 4.5-minute mark of the fourth. Fort Morgan 45, Northfield 3. This time Matt Flores is the lone setback. On first down, high snap, hand off to Flores. He's got some room across the left side, inside the 25 towards the 24. Gain of about 5. Second down and 5 to go for Fort Morgan. And again, they might not score, but they're 5 yards away from getting into the red zone.
Yeah, much better this time than the last drive.
Yep. From the 25, Langford again to Flores, right up the gut, and he continues to drive those legs. That's a first down to the 20. Strong running by Matt Flores. They're in the red zone with 3.5 to go. Still a shot to score. I've seen running clock with the final score of the game, or the final play of the game, I should say, is a touchdown.
Right.
Including on the losing side. First and 10 at the 20 of Northfield. Jackson Langford waiting for the play clock to run down. Awaits the snap, has it, hands it off to Matt Flores along the right side. He's running strong. Down to the 15. He went for 5, 5, and 5 again. Right behind his right tackle. Second down and 5 to go. That's his 5th carry for 15 yards.
Yeah, all of a sudden that offensive line is making some holes up there for him.
Well, Northfield could be getting a little bit fatigued.
And discouraged. And I think also maybe the plays are more just run straight forward and block your guys rather than some tricky type of blocking scheme that maybe the underclassmen aren't familiar with.
Well, Matt Flores is getting a workout here. He's probably going to get the ball again on second down and 5 to go from the 15. The play clock is still not at 5, and now it is. Langford has the football, hands off to Flores, running left side. He's only got a yard there, if even that. Nope. Hit down at the line of scrimmage. The initial hit was made by Dwayne Pittman. 3rd and 5 to go, with a maximum of 3 plays remaining in this game. With 1:48 to go. On 3rd and 5, again waiting for the play clock to run down, is Jackson Langford. Still not at 5, now at 5. On 3rd down, has the snap, hands off to Flores, the seam up the left side, and he's close to a first down, but he's down at about maybe the 11. They'll give him about 2.5 yards in the play. Now it'll be 4th down and a short 2. They'll say at the 12, just inside the 12. And this will be the final play of the game, because we've got a minute to go. Once this play is done, I would think they're not going to have enough time to run another play. At least they wouldn't want to run another play. Now the play clock at 5. Langford hands it off to Flores to the 5, touchdown. He started off to his right, back to the middle. 12 yards out for Matt Flores. And Fort Morgan now leads 51-3. They'll kick the extra point, and that'll be the game.
And our prognosticator, John Beltran, predicted that this game.
Well, I said I've seen it before. I I can't say I predicted it, but I've seen it before. Let's see if they even kick the extra point. I think that's going to be it.
Nope.
The final score, Fort Morgan 51, Northfield 3. We'll take a break here on B106 and B106.com. The Mustang postgame show is brought to you by Morgan Community College. Morgan Community College is there to make your dreams become a reality for both traditional and non-traditional students. Check them out at morgancc.edu. John Beltran back with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde as the Mustangs win at All-City Stadium in Denver today over Northfield, 51-3. As the Mustangs got off to a quick start, they scored on every single possession they had in the opening half, as they got a 22-yard pass from Isaac Linker to Adam Cardona. On their second possession, an 18-yarder from Linker to Ortega. And then on the next possession, after Mike Mecklenburg kicked a 22-yard field goal for Northfield, making it 13-3, it was a 56-yarder to Connor Fajardo. That made it 19-3 after one. And then the Mustangs just piled on in the second quarter. Linker with a 1-yard run. J.P. Hamer, a 7-yard scoring run. Linker then with a 23-yard touchdown run. And then it got to a running clock on a 4th down and 8, a 28-yard pass from Linker to Donovan Moya. And that made it 45-3 at the break. And on the final play of the game, Matt Flores with a 12-yard run as the Mustangs won this one 51-3. Brian, let's go through your nickel package and compare what you had pregame as to what actually happened in the game.
Well, the first one I had was don't overlook Northfield, and I believe that to be true. They did not overlook them the way they came out and played. Scored all 7 possessions in the first half. Score early, they did that. They scored early and often. Got the 40-point gap, got the clock running, got the run. I was going to put them at 300 yards with running the ball. I don't believe that happened, but they did a good job running and passing today. And then it looks like, for all intents and purposes, everybody came out healthy and ready for Roosevelt and league play next Friday night.
All right, Kevin, besides the gorgeous day you saw today, what other observations did you have from this victory this afternoon that the Mustangs put together in Denver?
Well, I was listening to Brian. I was wondering whether he was going to give them 20 cents or 25 cents, how many of the nickels they got. But
good
looks
point.
Looks like 20 cents. No, I think it was everything that the Mustangs wanted coming in here. They knew that this was a team that they could dominate, but they had to make the kids realize and respect the opponent. So the kids came out and played at the intensity level that you like to see as a coach. And, they just hit on all cylinders and really did a good job. No mental mistakes really at all.
All right, let's run through the numbers pretty quickly here. Really what we did at halftime is kind of what we're doing here at the end of the game, because there was not much offense in the second half because they went to a running clock with about 3 minutes to go in the opening half. Now, Matt Flores did have a number of carries. He had 7 carries, make it 8 carries for 29 yards and a 12-yard touchdown. Frankie Ortega officially 2 for 34. So they had 185 yards rushing at the break. So they finished close to 250, 63 between those two. And Isaac Linker in that first half was 5 out of 8, 124 yards and 4 touchdowns. And we know that the offense was limited for Northfield. They had 99 yards passing at the break and -2 on the ground. And in the second half, the quarterback Johnson was 2 out of 4 for 20 yards, also ran the ball twice for 5 yards. So they had 25 total yards in the second half, so just over 115 for the entire game. Northfield falls to 1-4, and the Mustangs improve to 4-1 on the season. All right, time for the Mustang Player of the Game, brought to you by Transwest. They believe that customers are number one. Check out their selection online or just stop by one of their dealerships in Fort Morgan or Sterling today. That is Transwest. Well, anytime you have 4 touchdown passes, 3 in the opening quarter, and 2 touchdown runs, I think, Brian and Kevin, I think it's pretty obvious who the player of the game is.
Yeah, Isaac Linker ought to be our player of the game. He had an outstanding game today.
But, of course, there were others who got involved as well. But
as always, there's a supporting cast, but he definitely is the star that shined today. So I think give it to Isaac.
All right, Isaac Linker is the Transwest player of the game as the Mustangs put together an outstanding effort today and beat Northfield in Denver by a score of 51-3. Brian, did you enjoy these accommodations? Because they're not going to be this way on Friday.
They're wonderful, yes. Got to be indoors today. It's probably the last, until we're at home. But, it might be a little different than this next Friday.
Yeah, the weather's going to be considerably cooler. We could have some rain in Johnstown. We'll find out when the Mustangs take on the Roosevelt Rough Riders coming up on Friday, 7 o'clock kickoff Mountain Time on B106 and B106.com. Outstanding job, as always, by our sound engineer and producer, Herrick Curtis, along with our replay engineer, Emily Hernandez. Of course, the Colorado Prep Scoreboard Show Friday nights from 9:30 to 11 on B106. That means if you're listening live or watching now on Facebook Live, the Mustang replay will be coming to you momentarily. For Kevin Rohde and Brian Nickel, I'm John Beltran with a final score from All City Stadium in Denver. Fort Morgan 51, Northfield 3 on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com.